Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic the Hedgehog. Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001, because between you and me, they're way past cool.
Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a custom figure made for Mythias. It is his fan character Flame the Hedgehog, who despite being a hedgehog has several very fox-like attributes, including large ears and two big floofy tails. Seriously, why was tails considered to be such an oddity? It seems that every fox character has two tails these days. And look at this guy, he's not even a fox and he has them. But I kid. We all know that fan characters like to imitate these things, and it's not a big deal, and we all love them anyway. Okay, so Mythias' base figure would mostly be this shadow, although just for a little bit of context, I decided to take this extra picture just to show what the new Jax Pacific shadow looks like standing next to the old Jazzwares one. They look very similar to each other, it's just the difference in scale and the fact that the Jazzwares one has elbow joints. That's just a quick comparison. I had to dismantle the figure, of course, including cutting off Shadow's original ears, as they would not be used in this project, and an added set of Tails' tails, which I actually have quite a lot left over, because every time I make a pudgy character that needs Tails' rounder body, but is not a fox, so doesn't have the tails, I end up with an extra pair of tails left over, and I have at least half a dozen of them at this point. Also, I 3D printed some soap shoes because Flame the Hedgehog's character has shoes that are very similar to Sonic's soap shoes, except that they have the ring on them like Shadow's. You'll see how I hybridize them later. Okay, so most of the sculpting modification went into the head, so that seems like the logical place to start here. Like I said, he's mostly still just a hedgehog, but he has very large fox-like ears and bangs, because, as we all know, bangs make your character look different. Oh, sorry about that. And, there's a funny thing about this Vallejo paint I have. It's red, but it's like ketchup red. The folk art paint that I use was like an apple skin red. In fact, it was called apple red. And this new flat red that comes from the Vallejo paints, it's a very tomato paste looking red. It's ketchup colored. At least it should be, because hold on, let's get to the shoes. I'll talk about it when we do the shoes. Okay, so I forgot to take a picture of the naked print aside from the initial photo, but as you can see, this is just the shoes. The one on the right I painted first and then sculpted on the ring and the tongue. And then the other shoe is I decided to do the sculpting on it first before I painted it. And just to see which way worked out better. It turns out that it didn't really make too much of a difference. These are the shoes. But this is what I wanted to bring up. On the back of the shoe, in the concept art, it looked like they used two different shades of red. So I used the Vallejo red for most of the shoe, but if you look in the back of the heel, underneath the ring, there's a patch of a different red. That's where I brought out my old folk art red. Since it was such a small patch, I didn't think it would be that big a deal. But when they're right next to each other this way, really can't tell too much of a difference. Like, when I see something painted with my folk art red, and then I look at something painted with the Vallejo red, they look so different to me. But then when I put the two shades of red literally right next to each other like this, I can barely tell the difference. I mean, I guess it looks a little bit glossier. I guess the Vallejo is more of a flat red. But, that's just how it comes out. Anyway, I thought the difference was a lot more significant than it actually turned out to be, is what I was trying to get at. Okay, so the body, well, the body isn't much. The body is mostly just repainted. Although, like, never try to paint a shadow red straight up. You will be there forever. I should say that I used a layer of primer to make this figure a lot easier to paint. So yeah, like I would have been stuck painting red layers on this thing for months to make it look properly red had I not used primer first. So remember, primer is your friend, folks. Now, Mythias has this blue shirt thing going on, which is conveniently filled in by Dr. Halsey's lab coat. Since I have all these Dr. Halseys that I've been making into Rouge figures, I have a bunch of the lab coat left over afterwards. And it's the perfect size to stick on to make little clothes for other characters, just like this. I cut the spines off of the back of the shadow figure and then glued them physically onto the back of the little trench coat thing, after painting it, of course. And this actually works out a lot better than cutting holes in the back to allow the spines to go through. Like, it just fits better, and it doesn't compromise the structural integrity of the garment. Compared to this, the arms are just a very simple little repaint job. Now, attaching those fox tails, normally I would cut off Shadow's tail and then like find a way to rig a way to attach the tails to the back of the Shadow figure, but because this one's wearing this long shirt, I actually found that by using my Dremel to make a small hole in the back, I could just go ahead and stick the tails directly into the back of the shirt. Here in this little view, you can see how like Shadow's tail is still in there. I didn't even bother to cut it off, but you can see the mushroom cap that's holding on. And because the shirt is made out of a flexible rubbery material, it goes in and out relatively easily. I mean, it doesn't go out so easily that it'll fall out, but you know, like it can still actually be used as a rotation point, so the tails are still, you know, posable. And you know, I found that to be a nice, quick and simple solution, which actually looks better and retains functionality, so, you know, why fight it? Alright, so with all that said, here is the completed flame figure. Yeah, I can see where he gets the name with the bright red and yellow color scheme. He really does just look like a walking flame. And that thing on his chest is actually a bandana that he's wearing. It's like a neckerchief or something like that. It's not his natural fur pattern. But yeah, that's it. That's Flame the Hedgehog. Now, you know, the funny thing about Sonic continuity is that, officially speaking, hybrids don't exist. You're either all one thing or all another thing. Like, you know, when Bunny and Antoine got married, they had two kids. One was a coyote, one was a rabbit. Sonic and Sally had a chipmunk and a hedgehog. So, like, there's never, in canon, any characters that have features of multiple animal types. Like, you either inherit all one or all another. I mean, maybe incidental things like the colors of your eyes, or, you know, any abilities that you might have, like super speed. But yeah, you don't actually, yeah, like hybrid things don't exist. So this is a hedgehog, not a hedge fox or a foxhog or whatever you would call it. All right, so enough of me being pedantic. Thank you all for watching the video. And hopefully we will be back soon with another one, because I just like to make toys for people. So this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.